Hello, my name is Darian, and I'm here to present my practice, which I've titled, Stop Blaming Immigrants for Your Country's Problems, They Just Got Here. As I've been watching the rhetoric towards minorities and immigrants grow more hostile globally, I feel it is my responsibility to humanize these people and highlight the dangers of a growing nationalist mind virus. It began during the end-of-year show in 2024 when Matt Elwood posed a question to me. How do you replicate and expand a successful outcome? This filled me with an immense pressure to perform, and I spent a lot of summer worrying how I was going to one-up my final project. It forced me to look back and simplify my thinking. This drew me to my Term 2 abstract cutouts from last year. I constructed these with the intention of only focusing on color and composition. I created rules and limitations in an attempt to breed creativity. This was a pressure release I was looking for, and I decided that this is how I'm going to start the year off. The Henry Matisse cutouts were integral in providing the base for my own practice. Really, I just ripped them off. But in all seriousness, the limitations that he faced due to his age translated into a medium that allowed me to work with metaphorical training wheels on. This has now become a reoccurring method in my process. The image on the right is a photo of my grandfather and great-uncle's circus troupe. I gave myself the rule that I could only use colors and symbols from this photo. My imagery began leaning politically after researching about an organization called OSWAL, which was founded in Cuba back in 1966. It was an anti-imperialist solidarity movement for the Global South. They produced hundreds of publications and posters up until 2019. These political posters made me think about why people are forced to migrate or flee their homes. I tried to make abstract work about that conveyed the precarious feeling that would come with leaving everything and everyone you know behind, more than likely never being able to return again. Most people don't understand that kind of sacrifice, which is why I'm truly heartbroken about the mass deportations occurring in the United States. Anti-intellectual forward slogans, alliteration, and dehumanizing AI slop formulaically designed to please the most mentally stunted and brainwashed individuals. This clearly shows a decline in empathy and critical thinking. Last year, I looked into suburban paranoia, isolation, and projection. And this year, I've been researching how nationalism is all of that in a larger scale. I've found it frightening how every extreme scenario I create to satirize the world gets outclassed by a more ludicrous, real-life catastrophe. A group of suburban dads doing a ritualistic dance around a minority being lynched doesn't sound so crazy when people are enthusiastically asking for live stream cameras outside of Alligator Alcatraz to watch escapees get eaten alive. This is not just an American problem, and if you are a minority, you will be affected by this. It's in Melbourne. Henrik Delahag is a Scandinavian artist based in London and has been key in me taking my practice more seriously. He keeps a close eye on current events and labels himself as a pre-war artist. He states that the post-war world is gone. He believes that all work is now a manifesto of belief and intent and should be treated as such. With all of this beautiful news to feed my practice, I felt that paper was just not going to be the right medium. It wasn't impactful enough, and it doesn't scale up in a size very well. This left me in a bit of a crisis towards the end of term 1, because all I had made were paper cutouts, and I knew drawing was completely out of the question. It puts too much pressure on me. I began the rug making process the same way I would start a paper cutout. The main difference is the tediousness of this process. The man who ran the studio helped me start, trim, glue, and shape my first 2 rugs, and it still took 8 hours. This was making me hesitant about pursuing this process. Claudia Kugacci has become a major artist model in my practice, not only because she has made tufted rugs herself, but because of her intimate and playful imagery. She gave me the confidence to not worrying about being cringe or kitsch. I've also had the great pleasure to meet and receive first-hand advice for my upcoming works from her. I bought in a lot of wool from her as well. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to use the rug as a way of softening a message, to use the physical material of soft wool, but have the image be something sharp and aggressive. Thus began the long process of deciding what to put onto the rug. I was struggling to come up with something because of the astronomical price point that came with making a rug at that size that I was planning. Once again, going back was extremely helpful. I went to an old sketchbook and decided I was going to bring the suburban dad theme back for a rug. This gave me the confidence to refine the sketch and begin building the 2 meter by 2 meter frame while purchasing the tufting machine and backing fabrics. It was all really expensive. I don't recommend it. I also decided that I was going to have a more wholesome drawing be the design for the other rug. I thought potentially having a cuter image would fill viewers with a sense of false security and would then think both rugs are the same, but upon further inspection, they would see the morbidity of the scenes that I was portraying. Digitizing the final sketches made it easy to shop for the specific color yarn. This was the last easy step. At this point, a lot of overthinking is occurring, and the only thing that kept me from quitting was Robin helping me stretch the backing fabric across my frame, stopping me from having a total tantrum, and destroying everything and selling everything. This is such a process-intensive medium. I truly feel I haven't had the chance to fully explore the possibilities with tufting, but so far, it has been a battle to say the least. The worst part being the shaving process. It wasn't until after halfway through the second rug, Jonathan recommended that I wear a respirator when shaving. Specifically, he said acrylic wool is not good for you. Finally, we had the finished pieces together. I personally am still struggling and wondering if this is meeting my intended outcome, but I'm happy with them nonetheless. I think I'm going to remove some of the humor out of the work just to see if I can make this medium seem more subversive and less on the nose. This has been a struggle to say the least, and this is my upcoming piece that I have finished digitizing. I'm hoping that the next couple works could have some more mystery to them. I'm looking forward to the final term to see how this process develops, and in the future as well, if I decide to pursue this process further. More to follow. Thank you.